The People's Democratic Party continues to keep political pundits and observers on tenterhooks. Despite expectations, the zoning committee of the PDP for national offices, which met on Thursday in Enugu, was unable to arrive at a formula for the zoning of offices ahead of its convention slated for October. The committee is expected to reconvene next week to continue deliberations on its terms of reference. The delay means that Nigerians will have to wait for at least another week before ascertaining whether the main opposition party is going to stick to the principle of rotational presidency ahead of the 2023 elections or break with tradition. Now joining us from Asaba Delta State to give us some insight into the political wheeling and dealing going on behind the scenes is Emmanuel Ogidi, former National Vice Chairman, South-South of the PDP. Good morning, Mr. Ogidi, and welcome to the morning show.
Yeah, good morning, Tundu. Good morning, viewers.
Morning. So let's just start off with the burning issue. Is PDP going to jettison that convention of a rotational presidency for 2023 elections?
Jettison? No. Why would we jettison the rotation? What is it about rotation? But the truth of the matter is that, after all, it's the People's Democratic Party. And then we have to take into consideration the feelings and yearnings of Nigerians. We look at the tide. And of course, why not? We've set the standard, so we'll keep the standard going. I know we've been listening to talk about what has happened in Enugu yesterday when the zoning committee met. That's a part of democracy. We are still looking at the way Nigerians will take the whole thing. You can see we are rich in human resources, human capital resources. I've been listening to all the permutations. I can assure you that Nigerians will be happy with the outcome of our convention. Because the convention that will seal everything. That's what I want to say for now.
Okay. So let me try to, get into the brains of people now and see what's happening there. So I'm trying to raise the point about understanding the zeitgeist of the moment and the fact that the PDP also has a constitutional review committee. Could this be, hypothetically, to tweak the Constitution in such a way that even if the South gets the chairmanship, then the South can still get a presidential ticket? Could that be the reason? Or what are the other reasons behind tweaking your party constitution?
Let me give you a scenario. I was chairman of the Delta State chapter of the People's Democratic Party. And during my time, we had 32 aspirants wanting to be governor of Delta State. I'm from Delta South Senatorial District. I was the chairman. And of course, we had aspirants from Delta North, Delta Central, and Delta South. We didn't stop. We didn't stop any of the senatorial districts then to purchase the form. They didn't purchase the form. I was chairman. Eventually, the candidate emerged from Delta South. Of course, I had to resign my position because there must be balancing. Immediately after the governor was sworn in, I resigned my position. So we in PDP we have the mechanism. We balance it in short. So far we have accepted 6 zones in the country. Therefore, like the 2017, you saw what happened. During the election, the chairmanship election, of course, when Delta South had the chairmanship, the deputy national chairman South went to Southwest. So it's we are used to it. We balance it. You can trust the PDP for that. It's a big family. Even when we argue, we don't, if you watch us properly, we don't hit our faces. Because you can't cover the wound on your face, but we hit our body. So your cloth can cover it. Are you okay with that?
Okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
Am I able to get into you?
Well, the issue of microzoning has also been raised. What's your comment on that? That rather than zoning like the office of the PDP chairman to the south, it could be zoned to the southwest to sort of appease the southwest, saying that they've never had a bite of the cherry. They've never had a southwest PDP chairman.
Well, you see, every zone can aspire. They can tell you all kinds of position. But of course, that's where they are the president. President is huge, very big. So they can say, well, they've gotten a president before. So, yes, it's true the Southeast have had the chairmanship for a long time, where they had, 2-3 years. So, but let me tell you, but I'm so excited that Nigerians are discussing PDP. That shows that we have hope of returning to power at the federal level. And it's because of this that you see this consultation going on. The elders of the party are the background. Those in the committee are working hard, sleeplessly. The constitutional review you are thinking about is not so much about a president, and we already have our setting on that. There are so many things we are trying to amend in the constitution, not necessarily because of the position of the president and chairman, no, not because of that.
Okay. So I'd like to know some of the things you're trying to amend in the Constitution, and I also want to get into you a little bit and posit a scenario. As somebody from the South, and I'll ask you this,
Okay.
you believe that power, by any sort of gentleman agreement should come to the South after the North has had their 8 years. If, in a scenario where a Northerner emerge as a PDP candidate for the 2023 elections, as a Southerner, are you going to raise eyebrows? Are you going to support that person?
No. Well, of course. Look, you see, in PDP, once the convention takes a position, every faithful member of the party goes on that line. Look at it the other way. 2000 when we had the convention in Port Harcourt and Atikba Abubakar Mesh, all other candidates, aspirants, teamed up. Nobody left. That's the spirit of PDP. We make sacrifices, and sacrifices are always rewarded. That's the beauty about PDP. That's why you see people, when they leave, they always come back, because there's love, there's harmony. We always reward those who have worked hard in the party. Yes.
But Fani Kayode has dumped you.
Cases where
Fani Kayode has dumped you, and he says he's not coming back. He's shut the door. He's dumped you.
I don't, each time we bring persons to discussions like this, I always wave it aside, because sometimes you don't know what works in the mind of anybody. You don't know what has prompted that. So sometimes I leave them. After some time, they realize their mistakes. And of course, the PDP is a big family. You always welcome you back. In every family, you have the good, the bad, the ugly. Any family with everybody good, it's a threat to the family. So you can live at will. That's the thing about PDP. But if you think that place is better, go and try it. You see, people have gone to APC, they regretted it. But I'm really surprised that at this low ebb of APC, somebody will want to lead PDP for APC. So for somebody to lead PDP for APC at this time, then there's something wrong somewhere. There's something burning there. You don't know who is beating that drum, or you don't know what ailment that person has. So Maybe it's looking for, like when you are sick. Sometimes after taking the English medicine, it's difficult for you. Try the native. Sometimes even when the native doesn't work, so it's like that. But it's just very interesting people. But let me tell you this. It's good for a politician to have integrity. It's good for a politician to be fair. Because that's what the Bible advised. If you read Job chapter 27, verse 5, said, God forbid I should justify you. Till I die, I will not lose my integrity. I expect a politician to have integrity. You should not be double-minded. Once a person is double-minded, it's not stable. That's the Bible. But again, it's human. So,
indeed, Elder Ogidi, reminding us there that you are an elder. You said that you were excited that people are talking about the PDP, but how would you respond that the conversation is that some are actually aghast that the PDP seems to be throwing away the chance to regain power in 2023. You have just sat here and said that the ruling party is at a low ebb. Well, that's your opinion, but that's the perception here. And the spirit of the moment, the zeitgeist in Nigeria is clamoring.
That's Nigeria for you. That's Nigeria's position.
Well, if I may finish.
Nigerians know that the APC has helped.
Yes, we're clamoring in Nigeria for national unity as a pressing issue. So I find it very difficult to believe that a serious opposition party is going to throw away their chance at actually coming back into power and hopefully service of the people by insisting on a northern president. Why would PDP do that? Why would PDP make such a risk before such a crucial election in 2023?
I gave you a scenario just now, what happened in Delta. Everybody's jostling for it, so don't worry yourself. We are conscious of what Nigerians want, and it's what Nigerians want that will deliver. That's how it is done.
Well, I have a follow-up.
You can't stop anybody's aspiration now. All right?
About federal character, which has always been sacrosanct in this country, pretty much set in stone. But what we've seen in the past few years under this APC government, anything is possible now, even with federal character. Is PDP wedded to that notion of federal character such that it's sacrosanct in your party? If you have a southern national chairman, then your presidential candidate must come from the north. Or is there a situation whereby we might see a departure from the usual conventions and you'll have a chairman from the south and a southern presidential candidate as a possibility?
No, I just painted a scenario for you. If a thing like that happens at the convention, the chairman definitely will vacate the position because the position of the president is very huge and important to the party.
Right.
The chairman knows, because we believe in federal capital and we believe in balancing, the moment, take for instance, you see, let's look at it this way. Power comes from God. We are all doing what we are doing now. If God says the chairman of PDP will come from the south or southwest, that's how it will be. If God says, okay, because it's an unwise God, and then the aspirant from the south wins the convention, definitely the southern chairman will vacate their position. Automatically goes to the north. That's the scenario. We are not going to be as reckless as APC, where everything is loaded. No, we'll never be reckless. We have never been. I will not be.
So, I mean, let's talk in terms of Clint Eastwood now, and let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Who is the good, the bad, and the ugly? And you said another party, the APC, that is lowest ebb. But when I checked, it's the PDP, your party, that just lost 3 governors and lost many members of the House of Assembly and the House of Reps and the likes. So your party, in the words of John Bellion, is at an all-time low.
No. You see, sometimes some seeds have to die before it will grow. The seed will die before it will grow, before it will germinate. What you are looking at, those 3 people left, what you are saying, these things happen when there's transition. when there's an end of tenure, sometimes some want to leave because of their speculation. You're free to go. Like we don't hold back people. We don't threaten them. You know how treacherous the APC is. They will threaten you. And not all of us have that courage. You may think because it's governor that cannot be threatened. No, he can be threatened.
Threaten you with what?
It's just that some of us, with what you don't know.
What is it we don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
If you know, you can say that I don't know.
No, you
but
said,
what I'm trying to say is that
you said they were threatening you. So I'm like, what are they threatening you with? So are you saying
I'm not talking about me.
Are you saying they threatened these governors to leave, the 3 governors that were so happy to leave?
What?
And you say they threatened them?
Have you forgotten what Oshomole said? That if you're a sinner, you come to APC, your sins are forgiven you. What is that? What does that mean?
I mean, tell me about sins, really.
They say if you are a sinner, no, in APC, you heard, they say when you, no matter the magnitude of offense, a fraction you have committed, as soon as you enter the APC, you are forgiven. So people tend to fall for that. But if you know what you are doing, you should stand firm as a man. So I respect those who stand firm, and also respect those who, having seen their mistake, come back begging. I respect them too. If a man says, I made a mistake and come back, why not? We're meant to make mistakes. Mistakes are allowed. It's human to make mistakes. And once you now find out you have made a mistake, you can come back. That's what we say. So don't be surprised those who have left, that they will come back. You know, sometimes they say it, and it's true. When you are successful, you have a lot of people around you. When you are in lowest ebb, people want to leave you. But let me tell you, PDP is not in its lowest ebb. No. The people who have are strong, they are resilient, we are focused on the ball, and that's it, to get the presidency back, but with the help of Nigerians. So we are focused.
Okay, so the zoning committee is going to conclude on September 30th, but reading the tea leaves, it is looking like what it's looking like. So I can now go ahead and ask you how PDP intends to sell a northern presidential candidate, and not just in an abstract sense. Let's talk about the names that have been bandied about. For now, we have Saraki, we have Atiku, Lamido. How do you intend to sell those gentlemen to Nigerians at a time when the country is just so tense? Tension is sky high at the moment. What do those gentlemen have to offer to unify the country?
You see, why did you mention the two? There are others that have not even heard their names. We are rich in quality men. What makes you think a woman will not come out tomorrow?
Amen.
Even when the PDP way, some women were interested. So, but I can tell you this. All our elections have always been free, fair, and credible. And when we give you a candidate, you know that candidate will win the election. All our candidates have always won the election, but sometimes we have been denied the victory. But God is on the throne. It's not difficult to market any candidate for the PDP, because we are sure that in our convention we bring a person of integrity and a person that can unify this country. That's what I can assure you.
I mean, Elder, I'm shocked that you say your candidates have always won it. No, Elder, I'm shocked that you say your candidates have always won election. If I check through the last 2 elections, you have lost. Yes. You have lost. You have gone to the court to okay, you didn't challenge the first one. You challenged the second one to the court. The court said no. You lost blatantly. So, I mean, I don't know the news you're reading about your candidates winning.
Let's not go. No, we won the election, but let's not go there. You know we won the election.
What election?
But look at the consequences today. We won the election. This is not the Trump type of winning. We won the election. The records were there.
Wow. Okay.
You know what happened.
Anyway, you won the election, but you didn't emerge president anyway. So we'll take that off. you said your party
Yes.
was trying to look at its constitution.
Yeah.
And because you say everything is smooth sailing in your party, you called another party, the APC, at its lowest ebb.
Yes.
But a lot of people will tell you that your party is at its lowest ebb. And I'll tell you why. There's been infighting in your party.
Okay.
I mean, they've been trying to make peace, but Uche Secondu is saying no. He's kept the cases in court. You know, you've put in somebody to take the position as the party chair for a bit. There's been a lot of back and forth. So there is no peace, you know, no cohesion and no unity in your party. And you see another party that is lowest ebb, and they're getting all your governors?
No. Yeah, that's it. You see, we practice democracy in PDP. You see, before you wake up one day, you see everything is over. I can assure you that. I hope you're getting me. I can assure you. It's not the AP type of assurance, so this is PDP assurance. Before that day, everything will be resolved.
Well, we've talked about the attributes, haven't we, that we want to see in a presidential
You don't believe me?
Well, I hope.
Rufai, you don't believe me?
Hope springs eternal. Rufai,
No,
what do you?
I mean, you said everything will be resolved, and it's not been resolved all this while. And all the peace attempts and all the meetings with Uche Secondus was never fruitful. So, I mean, I don't know this miracle you believe in.
Look, it will be resolved. When I tell you something will be resolved, believe me. You don't know Uche Secondus. I know him very well. He's a party man. He believes in the party. That's what some of us don't understand about this game we play. The party comes first. Sometimes we look at, we make sacrifices, but we don't announce it to the public. We do make sacrifices. We don't announce it to the public. Uche Secondus has been a party man. And when it gets to that stage, whatever he thinks, whatever you like, Uche is a body man of experience in party administration. And his dream is to ensure that we take the presidency. So if he feels that it's a stumbling block for getting the presidency, he will sacrifice himself. You don't need to tell him at that time. I can assure you, you don't need to tell him. He knows. He's focused. He wants us to be on board. It's beneficial to Nigerians and us in PDP for PDP to be in power. He knows that.
Well, you've made a couple of references.
You can take that to the bank.
Oh, okay. You've made a couple of references to how people sacrifice themselves. You said if a Southwest or Southern chairman emerges, that person will be willing to sacrifice themselves if a Southern presidential candidate emerges.
Yes.
But self-sacrificing isn't something that's usually synonymous with politicians, I have to say. I have to just make that point. But what else are you looking for in your party's chairman now? Somebody who's willing to sacrifice for the party. What other attributes would you like to see in the party chairman? And what camp... I haven't finished my question, sir. What camp do you fall into? Because media reports say there are two camps right now in the PDP. Camp maintain status quo, or the other camp that wants to change all the current positions being occupied by the South should be transferred to the North and vice versa. Where do you fall?
Why don't you wait until the zoning committee comes out with the zoning procedure? You see, I don't want to preempt the zoning committee's work. You can see they said we should give them till next week. They're going to do more consultation. And by the time they come out, you can be sure it's the party's position. That's what I have to say for now. I'm not going to speculate.
Okay. You're not going to speculate. But while you wait and expect a miracle as regards the debacle in your party, you keep losing all the top dogs in your party.
It's not a debacle. No.
Hang on a minute.
It's consultation.
Just hang on a minute, sir.
I would prefer you to use the word
just hang on a minute, sir.
We are consulting. I would prefer you use the word consulting.
You keep losing all the top dogs in your party. Former Governor Gbenga Daniel is gone from your party. Former Minister of Aviation Stella Odua gone from your party. The list goes on and on and on. And you know, there happens to be a new joker in town that does all the deals, and I'm sure your party winks at him. His name is Mai Malabuni. He's been getting all the guys out of your party. So, aren't you waiting too long? Isn't this consultation taking too long? Isn't your party hemorrhaging already?
No, it's not taking. No, it's not. Now, did you see our last NEC meeting? It was so exciting when I saw some people that I've not seen for a long time. They came out. This is when PDP is actually PDP. It is when we are faced with a challenge like this that you know that we are PDP. We like challenges. And we are challenged now. I can assure you that we'll get the best for Nigeria. I can assure you. Not the APC assurance. This is the PDP assurance. We're not going to disappoint Nigerians by the grace of God.
Wow, amen to that. Thank you for your time this morning, sir. Thank you. We'll take a shot.
You don't believe me?
Well, we're hopeful for the best outcome from Nigeria, whichever way it goes.